always a privilege. So I'm really excited for you to share all that you've learned and all that you're bringing to life for our community tonight.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Last April, I journeyed to San Francisco, for a school newspaper conference. While there, I visited the Castro, one of the first gay neighborhoods in the United States and a centerpiece of LGBTQ history. I walked on rainbow crosswalks and past huge community murals and through the GLBT Historical Society Museum, a singular room that's too small to encapsulate the scope of history it tries to present. I also visited an antique shop and chatted with the owner who had owned the shop for decades. He told us that the attic of the shop was filled with boxes and boxes of personal artifacts because people would sell him all of their possessions, desperate for money for AIDS treatment. These unopened boxes have lived in the back of my mind ever since. In the boxes, consigned to silence, were artifacts: the clothes, the letters, the dishware, every small item that together makes a life. This week's Torah portion, Maaseh, retells the journey of the Israelites from Egypt. It lists, again, people and places, wildernesses and mountains. It's not the first time this particular story appears in the Torah. So why is it told again to the people who experienced it the first time, and why in so many seemingly small details? LGBTQ history is like a mosaic, and the tiles are the details: a self-published book, an affirming hug, a basement celebration. Clothes, letters, and dishware in an antique attic, photo booth photographs from the 1950s. I find some of the same resonance in Jewish history and LGBTQ history as evidence of existence in the face of oppression. Big things are so often lost: people, buildings, stories, languages, which increases the value and wonder of the small things that remain. I hold on to what we can find out about the journeys before us because it's so often not enough to answer my questions. Putting the pieces together is difficult, and that difficulty makes it matter. By retelling the journey of our past, we begin to create our future. By understanding the history that lives outside the walls of traditional institutions, in subtext and letters, in the smiling eyes of photographs stored in closets' cardboard boxes, we are able to ask in our own journeys, how do we continue forward? This Pride, we are at the end of a uniquely devastating legislative session and amidst a retelling of an old story of bigotry justified by moral panic. We are at a pivotal moment for deciding where the future will lead, what story people will tell about this time in 50 years. What history are you creating with your words, your actions, your contributions? What future will that tend to? Everything we do now as a Nebraska community facing increasing anti-LGBTQ political violence reflects that, and silence is included. Maybe action to you looks like a regular contribution to a local LGBTQ organization, campaigning for progressive legislative candidates, contacting your representative, having conversations with your friends and family members, or even running for office. If you look at the people leading us now, you might find out that you are much more qualified than you think. Our history reminds us that we have never been alone, and it challenges us to continue a legacy of action and remembrance. We will look to the journeys of the past for community and strength and resilience in small moments, and with stubborn optimism and pride, we will look toward the future. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.